Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great weekend and you had a great start to your week. I want to share something with you really quick. Um, I deal with traders all the time who have unrealistic expectations when it comes to their winning trades and the amount of money that they need to make in order to consider themselves successful. And I've said it over and over and over again. It's really not about the amount of money. It's about showing growth, um, and being successful in trading and developing into a trader. It's almost like the way you develop habits. Habits are it's a persistence in practice. You practice something over and over and over again. You do it, it becomes second nature, it becomes habit, and a lot of times you don't even think about it. It's just something you do because it has been ingrained in your life. And success is the same way. This overnight success story is it's a fallacy. It's a myth. It's not something that's really true. I remember when I first started trading, it was right when the marijuana boom hit, and all of these penny stocks just ran out of this world. You had a lot of people that made a lot of money really quick. They had no clue how to trade. They were just listening to somebody say, buy this and hold it, buy this and hold it and then sell it. And they made money. But it wasn't long before all of that money was gone and they became one hit wonders. I don't all of those people who I would follow on Twitter, they're not even there anymore. All of them are gone. Some of them lasted a little longer than others, but they didn't understand that it takes time to achieve longevity. You can't achieve these extraordinary results, which is being a profitable trader, without putting in that extraordinary work on a consistent basis. And that's one of the habits that we try to teach and that I'm trying to instill through this roadmap to success is that most of what you have to do is actually apply in practice. Only 20% of this should be really listening to the videos. You don't read a book and automatically learn how to trade. It doesn't work that way. You don't watch a video and automatically learn how to trade. You learn by doing. You learn by applying the concepts you've learned into the market personally. You invest your time, your money, and put it into the market. That's where you learn. That's where true learning takes place. So, it takes time to build the right habits for success. It just takes that time. You've got to build that foundation that you can always come back to in case the wheels roll off. If everything just falls apart and you have to start all over again, if you don't have that foundation, it's not going to happen for you. Think about Tiger Woods. He's been in the news forever since winning the Masters, it seems like. He was totally devastated, totally broken. Everybody wrote him off. But he had a foundation that he and his father built over time. And if he didn't have that foundation, if he was just a one hit wonder like a lot of these golfers we see that don't have that foundation, they have nothing to come back from. They don't have anything to stand on to propel them back up. Tiger Woods had that. What's this other guy? Einstein. I mean, this guy worked all his life on his theory of relativity. It didn't happen overnight. what he came up with did not happen overnight. Mozart, he by the time he was 6, he had put in almost 3,600 hours practicing, and then he studied for 18 years before he wrote his first piano concert or concerto or whatever you call it. It take greatness takes time to develop. Now, I'm not saying this takes 18 years, but you get the point. So nobody's gonna win or be a consistently profitable trader right off the bat, making all of this money. Being a profitable trader is a process. It's a growth process. And you have to grow in these increments so that you become comfortable and you develop these skills that you're going to need, over a period of time. Part of this roadmap to success that I'm sharing with you guys, it is designed to give you, steps to follow or give you a direct path towards profitability. But guess what? You have to put in the work. Just watching the video doesn't cut it. About 20% of this whole path is probably going to be you watching the video or watching a presentation. The other 80% has to be you actually doing it. You actually engaging yourself in the activities in the market so that you can grow and you can develop the right habits and you can learn from your mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. We make mistakes every day. I made a mistake today that turned out to be the right thing to do, or it turned out to be good for me. But I make little mistakes like that every day because a lot of times we're not 100% locked in and we lose focus. And we're going to make little mistakes. But the more we trade, the more we learn how to eliminate these little mistakes, or the mistakes that we make don't really cost us, anything. So it's really, really important, guys, that you understand that you can achieve big results from small wins. And let's take a look at my equity curve for this year. Okay, we started out with a $5,000 account. All right. And over a period of, we've traded 95 days up to Friday. Over the period of 95 days, I only averaged $182.67 a day. That's not a whole lot of money, right? That it's not. But when you compound it over 95 days, it's over 17 grand. We're not far from that $25,000, goal that we have. That's the next stop. Now, obviously, we want to make more, but 15 was the first hurdle. Now, 25 is the next hurdle. We're almost there. But look at $182.67. We're like, man, that ain't nothing. So-and-so's making $3,000, $5,000, $8,000 a day. But what are they doing? We don't know. We just don't. So we can't focus on what other people do. We focus on what we do and our goals and our incremental growth. Now, I do have a goal per day that I want to hit, but I don't measure it every day. I look at it at the end of each quarter to see, did I hit my goal? I want to make at least $250 a day on average in this small account. If I could do that, that in a year, I'd be well on my way to doing, being in the position that I want to be in. So can we do that? If we're not making that, do we just change everything we do? No, we don't. We continue to try to get better every day. We try to maximize the potential of each trade we're in. We try to maximize the effectiveness of our watch list, making sure that we have the best stocks on it and that we know how to pick the ones that are going to give us the best opportunity to make the most profit. You know, we get better doing that. We get better at our process. And, you know, once we do that, we're able to scale up. We're maximizing the potential in our stocks. We're being more efficient with the stocks that we trade. And then once we get out and we get into a traditional broker, we increase our share size. And things are going to take off for us. Because we already have our risk management in place. You know, we already have everything in place that we need to be successful and to prevent us from losing all our money. But that's not the big thing. We started with $5,000. In 95 days, we took that $5,000 and grew it by 347%. 347% growth. And you think this number doesn't really mean much and it's not that big? Look at what we're dealing with. We're only dealing with a $5,000 account. Okay, imagine if we were trading a $50,000 account. Where would that put us? Now I know that's, you know, we're growing a lot bigger than we want to, but just think about it. I want you to visualize. You know, 5K, 10 times 5K is 50,000. So multiply 10 times 182. That's going to tell you, you know, you're going to be making, what, $1,820 a day on average? That's not bad. All right, so I just want you guys to understand that you can't dismiss small gains. And I started making $20, $30, $40, $50 a day. You know, I went back and looked, and my Profitly account is still there, and it still shows all of those little gains I took for a long time until things started clicking and I got the right education. And look where it's gone. Once you get that, there's no stopping you, dude. There's no stopping you. All right, so let's take a look at our trade from today. Now, this morning, I said it's going to be really tough. We have to really be patient with these trades. If we're not patient, we could possibly lose, get shaken out before the move happens, or whatever. So I wanted to be patient, and that's what I did. So we were watching a couple stocks. Roku, I didn't have shares to short. And there was another one I didn't have shares to short. And then I just made a decision not to chase those China stocks. Because honestly, the market really didn't trade the way I thought it would after the trade tweet came out over the weekend. I was expecting a lot more, but we just didn't get it. But I stayed away from those. OXY was setting up, and it set up first before any other stock I was looking at. And what I was waiting on was for it to establish over this red to green and over the 200. So once we established over it, that's when I got in. You know, we had to make a new high relative to this candle. And that's what I did. I waited for confirmation. Now, yeah, I could have anticipated and got in down here, but I wasn't feeling like this was an anticipatory day. I felt like I would be risking too much by doing that. So I didn't take it. I waited until I felt I could manage my risk better. And I got in. We did get a push up. We had to hold through a pullback. Here's where patience comes in. Remember the lesson that we learned Friday about, when I made that mistake on that trade and what I looked at that kept me in it? Look at the trend. If I was trading my P&L, I would have got spooked out here. But what I'm looking at the trend. Here's a pullback. We bounced here, made a higher low. Here we popped up, made a higher high. We pulled back. On this bounce, we made a higher low. Here we made a higher high. Hit my first target. And then we ran into some resistance here at 59. It got slapped all the way back. And so I'm watching this at lunch. I get stopped out. I had to stick to my stop. I was not going to change it. In my mind, I needed to stick to this. I didn't want to go in and change it, and I did. And I got back in, once we confirmed the bounce here. I got back in, and it just didn't go anywhere, but it held a 20. And as long as it held as 20, there was a good chance that this thing was gonna bounce. And we just held it, and sure enough, it bounced. And here's the mistake I made. I was trying to put in my stop, and instead of me putting in 58.75, I put in 59.75, and it immediately fell. So I typed in the wrong price and for the stop, and it just immediately took me out. So, but it was a good mistake because we never did get back up here and make a run to that 59.50 target I had. So, I'm good with it. I am good with this 197.13. Not a bad haul on a day like today, where the volatility was a little suspect and the clean moves just were not there. There weren't a whole lot of clean moves out there. So I'll take it and I'll go to the house, and we'll come back tomorrow. Anytime I can start a week off green, and I traded like I had some sense. I was patient. I waited for the setup, and I waited for things to make the right moves, and nailed it. So really happy going into Tuesday, and we'll see, what we can do then. All right. But thank you guys for listening if you're still here. And I will catch you guys first thing in the morning.